Hello everyone and welcome to Sharp Dress Gaming, and today we're here because Pokemon has announced the official Pokemon VGC video game competition championship, rules for the 2016 season. Now, there's not much of a difference, but there is the difference it did make is quite enormous. Let me tell you about it. But we're going to go over it quick here, and I'm going to just give a few thoughts from a person who's not a professional VGC player, but somebody who's played for 2 years now, and just what I think about it. I haven't watched anybody else's videos on it yet. Like the main people like Aaron, Cybertron Zang, and Ray Rizzo, and all those guys made a video. So be sure to check their side out as well. Maybe they have more of insight to it, because I haven't gone through what these rules have yet. So maybe I'm over speculating, maybe not. We'll see. But the format for the 2016 video game... This is from the official Pokemon website, by the way. Format for the 2016 video game championship season has been announced. As of January 1st, 2016, players competing in Play Pokemon video game competitions will need to follow these new rules and regulations when building their teams during battle. This will be the official format for the 2016 Pokemon World Championships in San Francisco, California. So I'm gonna go over the main ones, or like the ones we've already had before I go into the big ones. All items will be allowed except for Soldew. Each Pokemon must hold a different item, so that does mean that Mega Evolutions are still around. There is speculation that Mega Evolutions might be kicked, but they are not. Pokemon brought in via Pokemon Transporter will not be permitted, which means the Blue Pentagon is still required. So things like Eruption Heatran aren't going to be allowed. Defiant Thundurus still isn't allowed. There was also speculation on that because they allowed non-Blue Pentagon Pokemon to Battle Spot, but you still do need a Blue Pentagon. So, like I said, Eruption Heatran, Defiant Thundurus, and like Seismic Toss, Kangaskhan, I guess, was another one. Time limits for battles will vary by event. At major events, regional championships, and above, battles will have a 15-minute time limit, 45-second move timer, and a 90-second team preview. And that's what they've already had, so nothing different there either. And all battles, of course, will be double battles played in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. And then, here comes the big one, guys. So this is kind of what it was, but kind of not. So, all discovered Pokemon will be allowed except for the following mythical Pokemon: Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, Deoxys, Phione, Manaphy, Darkrai, Shaman, Arceus, Victini, Keldeo, Meloetta, Genesect, Diancie, and Hoopa. So, those event Pokemon are not allowed. Deoxys, I'm not sure why they didn't allow Deoxys in. He was always paired with all those Pokemon because he was an event Pokemon. But then the Delta episode made it so he was in-game. So I guess they're just leaving him out. I can see why he does have the highest stat, like, in each form of all the Pokemon. So I can see it. But I would have liked to use, like, Defense Deoxys. I think he gets Trick Room, so that could have been fun. But we won't be seeing Deoxys this year. But we will be seeing this. Teams may have no more than 2 of the following Pokemon: Mewtwo, Lugia, Ho-Oh, Kyogre, Groudon, Rayquaza, Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Reshiram, Zekrom, Kyurem, Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde. So all of the cover legends plus Mewtwo and Zygarde are going to be allowed. They did this in 2010, I think was the last time they did this. And let me tell you, when I read this, I wasn't super impressed. And here's why. While it's fun to use legendaries, we can all agree, legendaries have their place. And for me, personally, that place is Ubers of Smogon. And free-for-alls, because that's for fun. Now, I can kind of see it because there's 2 Pokemon each side of the field, and they can each attack. But I just... there's been such a complaint currently with the chalk, quote-unquote chalk metagame, where it's essentially everybody uses the same 5 Pokemon plus another one, and it's Cresselia, Heatran, Amoonguss, Landorus, Kangaskhan, and either Thundurus or Sylveon, usually as the last slot. But this is just going to make it even more standard of what you use. It's going to be unbearable. That's what I see it as. For me, this is the Seismitoad EX of VGC, allowing all these Pokemon to come in. When Mega Kangaskhan's already running the field along with Landorus, Now these Pokemon are coming in. Essentially, you're just replacing Mega Kangaskhan and then going with that. So I'm going to kind of go over some of the ones I think are really going to change it. Mega Rayquaza. Let's start with him. So Mega Rayquaza itself is just annoying. Mega Rayquaza, Smogon said, hey, enough of that, get him out of here. And honestly, I think that's just how it should be. Like, free-for-alls, yeah, he's fun. I mean, it sucks because you can't use Mega Rayquaza, and he's a really cool Pokemon, but it's for good reason. Now, I can see it a little bit more because it's going to be doubles, you can double into it, but he's got that Delta Stream ability, so Rock Slide isn't super effective. Ice type attacks are only two times super effective. Dragon type stays the same. Electric becomes resisted, so everything that's super effective to flying. It's not super effective anymore. So that's first off, that's dumb. Second off, weather's gonna be aft from Mega Rayquaza, and I'm sure a ton of people are gonna run it too. Essentially, Mega Rayquaza is just gonna replace Kangaskhan. That's what my prediction is. And if not Mega Rayquaza, Mega Mewtwo Y will replace a lot Mega Kangaskhan on a lot of teams because it's another freaking powerhouse. Not as bad as Rayquaza, of course, but still pretty bad. He's another frail Pokemon though. Yeah, I just see that. So like all of those weather teams can just go suck a big one really when Mega Rayquaza's around. Speaking of weather, Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. Let's talk about that. So essentially Mega Charizard Y is out the window. Ninetales is essentially already out the window because of Charizard. But because Primal Groudon is Fire Ground type, he's not 4 times weak to Rock. So forget about Landorus, Oko, and your Sunsetter. I mean, he can still hit it pretty hard, but Groudon's bulky enough to be able to take at least 2 hits from Landorus. And then you can't set up another weather. Second off, you can't bring in another Pokemon to change the weather because Desolate Land makes it so it can't be changed unless the only one that can change it is Primal Kyogre. On the other hand, if it comes in after or if it's slower than the Primal Groudon. So Primal Kyogre is Rain can be wrecking house. Essentially, Politoed's gone. Politoed is really the only Drizzle Pokemon, and Kyogre's just going to replace it, and you can't get rid of the rain. So it'll be like Mega Kyogre, or Primal Kyogre, sorry, maybe Mega Swampert, because you can run both a Primal and a Mega as of right now. They haven't said otherwise. So you could do that, and then Kingdra, Ludicolo, all the fun guys can just come in the rain, just start battering on people while Kyogre's just thundering away. And like the only thing I could think that you could counter Kyogre with is another Kyogre, like Choice Scarf Kyogre, thundering away on him. Primal Groudon, what do you have to counter that? You can hit it, but you can't use water type moves, so a lot of water type Pokemon are going to be boned off of that too. So I just can't believe that, especially because you could have Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, and then Mega Kangaskhan. That could be your team. I mean, you have 3 more, but still, you can have 2 Primals and a Mega, as long as your Mega isn't another Cover Legend, or Zygarde, or Mewtwo. 3 newcomers, actually, to the VGC metagame. Xerneas, Yveltal, and Zygarde. Now, Yveltal might see a little bit of play. I could see him coming in, doing some stuff. Fast special attacker, fast physical attacker, possibly. I haven't really used Yveltal, so I don't know much of what he does. I know he's usually Choice Scarfed in singles and stuff, but I'm sure, like Tailwind, maybe he'll be a good Tailwinder. That'd be cool. I'm kind of excited for Yveltal to be there. There's a few Pokemon I am excited to see coming into the metagame. Yveltal is one of them. Zygarde is another one. I'm sure once Zygarde Perfect Form comes out, he'll just start. You'll see him all over the place because I'm sure he's just going to be absolutely amazing, kind of like Mega Rayquaza is. So that might be. I think that's one of the big reasons they brought this rule back is because they're like, oh, let's push Perfect Zygarde into this. So I don't know. He might be just broken as shit when he comes out too, with 1,000 arrows and 1,000 waves. I don't know. But then, 1,000 arrows is going to be annoying because that's the one that is a ground type move that knocks flying type Pokemon down or levitating Pokemon. So you can hit like the Rotoms. Rotoms are going to be destroyed by that. Thundurus is another one that's going to be demolished by that. So we'll see how that turns out. Then Xerneas, I think, might also have a big influence on the metagame, whether it's for good or bad. Uh, the thing with Xerneas that I could see it not working is because people might rather run Mega Gardevoir, and they probably won't run Mega Gardevoir, but mostly Sylveon, because they have Hyper Voice Pixelate boosted, whereas Xerneas also has a spot because Geomancy is freaking amazing, and then you can Moonblast off of that. But you can Geomancy, and then you can just start destroying things. I could see like Xerneas Amoonguss becoming very popular, where you're drawing attacks away from Xerneas, so then you can build up an attack. Probably like Geomancy, Moonblast, Hidden Power Ground for Heatrans and Aegislashes, and then another move. I don't know. Or maybe Hidden Power Fire instead, and then I think he gets Close Combat. Ooh, I'm kind of interested in that now. Geomancy, Moonblast, Hidden Power Fire, Close Combat. Ooh, I like that. I like that. They have a Mega Xerneas. But anyway, oh yeah, Xerneas Amoonguss. But because if Xerneas starts becoming big, I could see a lot more Heatrans, because they 4 times resist the Moonblast, so Xerneas would have to have Close Combat or Hidden Power Ground to take care of it. I could see more Aegislash because of the Xerneas, or more Ferrothorns. Again, this is all if Xerneas even becomes popular. I could see it like having a run for a little bit, kind of like Tracheon did, and then kind of dying out and coming back later in the season. I could see that happening. Another thing I see happening is more Landorus. I mean, how could you get more Landorus than you already have? But like, it could be just be like your backup Pokemon, Choice Scarf, or Choice Band Landorus to try and get rid of Groudons. I don't know. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot more Landorus, but there's always more Landorus. You can't really get more than there is now. It's the number 2 most used Pokemon on Battle Spot. But this is my biggest concern. It's just going to kill the creativity. Like, on the channel recently, we've been trying to use more creative Pokemon, because obviously we're trying them all out, see how they all work out. But I'm thinking if I brought any of those teams next year, they wouldn't survive for a second. Like, the Mega Aerodactyl team, maybe it'd do a little bit, but not much. Because, like, that team did good, but it, like, barely won every game. Because they are so frail, and you have to hope for that best stuff. The Trick Room Buffalant team I'm using right now would not last. I'm telling, like, yeah, sure, you can replace those Pokemon, but that's not the point. It's those Pokemon you aren't going to see anymore. I mean, there'll still be people that try and use it, like, to fight against fitting in with the norm, but if you're going to be competitive, those are Pokemon you're going to be using. That's all it is. Lugia and Giratina. If you thought Crest was annoying to kill, Lugia and Giratina are going to be the worst. The worst Pokemon to kill. That's another reason I could see more Aegislash, because it's super effective to both of those Pokemon. Yeah, Lugia is Psychic type. So I could see a lot more Aegislash because of that, which Aegislash has kind of had a dying off recently. I don't know why. I personally haven't seen a lot of Aegislash. It's probably because people prefer Heatran, but we'll see. I don't think anything. Oh, the Kyurem forms. Kyurem forms would be interesting to see. I could see Kyurem White being used quite a bit. Maybe Choice Scarfed to outspeed Landorus, and you could use Ice Beam, knock out Landorus there, and then you also have Fire type moves for the Amoonguy, and I don't know. I'm just trying to think, because I think the ones I'm excited for. I'm going to stop being negative for a second. Talk about the Pokemon I'm excited for to come into this. Kyurem in its forms, I'm interested in using. Maybe Reshiram, I'm not entirely sure. But Zygarde, before it becomes perfect, I mean, when it has its perfect form, I'm sure it'll be fun for a little bit. But I want to see if anybody's going to use normal Zygarde, especially with Garchomp being fairly popular in the game right now. So Zygarde, Eviltal, or Evoltal, however you want to pronounce it. I didn't really think about it until this video, and I'm like, he'd be kind of cool. Tailwind, Dark Pulse, Oblivion Wing, Protect, maybe? I don't know, Ming. Who else do I want? Ho-Oh, I wouldn't mind trying. Ho-Oh is just going to be a bulkier Charizard without Drought. You have Groudon now, so that doesn't matter. I mean, of course I'm going to try everything out. I'll be the hypocritical guy. I'll sit here and complain about it, but I'll still use them. I don't care. I ain't got no shame. But, and of course I've got to try them out for you guys. Let you guys know how it works. But I'm just trying to think. I'm just trying to go through all of them mentally in my head and which ones I'd like. Dialga, I really like Dialga. I'll use Giratina, I love him. Lugia too. Even though I just complain about their bulk. I can't think of anybody else. Yeah, but it is rather annoying that they're not allowing the special event Pokemon. Here's the reason why they don't allow special Pokemon, mythical Pokemon as they call it. It's because they aren't available to everybody. A lot of those Pokemon don't have a blue Pentagon anyway. Let me see if I can pull that back up quick. Let's see. Mew, I think Celebi does because of Pokebank, but Mew doesn't for sure. Jirachi does because he had an event recently. Deoxys does because you can get him in game. Fion doesn't. Manaphy doesn't. I wanted to use Manaphy. Celebi I wanted to use too. Darkrai does not, or he does. I think he does in Japan. See, that's what part of the thing too. Some of these are only regionally available. With Blue Pentagon, Shaman's not. Arceus isn't. Victini's not. Keldeo isn't. Meloetta isn't. Genesect isn't. Deontay and Hoopa are. I would have liked to seen Hoopa. That would have been cool. Volcanion too when he comes out, but he won't be available either, unfortunately. And we for sure know that they're going to be using or allowing the Primals and Mega Rayquaza because those are the pictures they have on the announcement. It's Primal Groudon, Primal Kyogre, and Mega Rayquaza. So it's like, alright, they're allowing those. But as of right now, that's all we know about the rules. It does say, and be sure to keep checking Pokemon.com for information on the 2016 Video Game Championship Series. The complete rules will be posted shortly on Play Pokemon Rules and Regulations page. Competitors are expected to have read these rules prior to attending Play Pokemon competition. I don't know how they could change anything else. They've kind of laid it all out there. Maybe they'll only allow you to have one Primal and or Mega. That could be really the only thing I'd see them change, which of course you guys will know that as soon as we start doing those 2016 videos. I'll tell you if that did happen or not. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think of the rules for Pokemon VGC 2016. I could see it going both ways. I could see it bringing in new people that love those legendaries. Like, yeah, I want to use that, and that could bring them in. It can also drive away the current competitors because they don't want that in here. But let me know what you think about them, and if you're going to play Pokemon VGC 2016, the official rules of Pokemon, and we'll see you next time. Bye! Hello everyone, and thanks for checking out the video. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to click on the links on the screen. If you haven't yet, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to see more videos as they come to your way. And if you want to go check out the GoFundMe, that'd be great too. Bye!